want something, you got to go for it. So whatever that means to you, that's all I'm going to say. You better go for it, or somebody else will. And I go for it. I chase what I want, and I will do anything that it takes. Playing, being the best that I can be. So that playing and being the best that I can be encompasses my whole life. Not just playing the drums. It's how I live. So there's a whole lot of that goes. It's kind of a sickness, but I got it, and so far, amen. Knock on dressing room road case. It's worked out. It's not just playing a beat. It's finding the heartbeat of that song, the heartbeat of that track. So whenever I play for the guys that I play for, I try to get in there so much that I know, every song has it's not playing the parts, it's how they play the parts. It's getting deep, deep, deep within that music. So whether it's going over it 8 million times so that ingrains. And the other thing is you have to not play with the songs, but listen to the songs equally as much. So you have to take yourself away from the drums so you can really dissect what's going on. And I think that's a mistake. Some people, you play along so much that you're not really getting the little intricacies that are going on with the music. So you got to dig. So whatever it is you're into, dig into it. So I can't say 3 albums because it's not the same for everybody. Everybody wants to be a different drummer.
So just live.
And everybody goes through phases. When you're a kid, you're into this, and then you get to, I'm not, what I thought was cool when I was 12, cool drummers, I don't think are cool now. It was a different thing. So you change. Hopefully you change. I needed that. I needed I was looking for like in my head, a broken cymbal kind of sound. Because sometimes I'm so lazy at home, I don't even change my cymbals and they're broken, and I go, ooh, that sounds fucking killer when it's broken. So I was going for that vibe. And a lot of old recordings, some of the Sabbath recordings, you can hear how it kind of sounds like they could be broken, and that trashy kind of vibe. So that cymbal, you sent me out a bunch of different choices, and that was the one that worked best live, because some of the other ones you sent weren't loud enough in comparison to the other crashes that I was playing. So it was that, and this had the volume and that tone that I was looking for, so that's why it's up there. Music is a journey, and it's a never-ending thing, so I'm blessed, I'm fortunate, and I'm playing with superior musical talent, and that helps me get better, and that's the gift that I get. The ultimate gift is, trying to rise to the occasion to play with these musical giants, and it's been a riot so far. It's blast. It keeps getting better and better and better, and I'm learning so much. And that's what I've always tried to do. So hopefully there's more of that for whatever's the next 30 years of my career, because to me it's a journey. It's not, it's not one thing or getting a gig, or success is not that. If you look at it that way, you're really in for a rough fall if it's one thing, or if it's this. It's life. Doing what I do, it's a life thing. Life is up and down. Music is up and down. So you got to roll through it, man. And there's ups and downs, and I'm on and up. And hopefully there's just ups. I stay ready. I'm not telling all my secrets in there. I tell people and they don't listen, so.
They don't listen?
No. Even if you have to ask, here's one thing I figured out. I never needed to ask people questions. Really. Because I knew what to do. You know what to do. You work your ass off, and things will happen. Eventually. That is the thing. But if somebody write down on paper, well, first you need to go practice your drums. Yeah, no shit. Yeah. You probably don't do that. While you're out having a good time and doing all your stuff, I'm at home practicing. Even to this day, I'll be right back at it, because you never know what tomorrow brings, and you always have to be ready. That is the key to the music business. Being ready when an opportunity presents itself. What do you define as success? I was successful when I was 7 years old, in my mind. Because because I work hard, or I worked hard. I did everything I could to be the best that I could be.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time in my life, I thought in order to be the best that I could be, I need to move over there. And this is a process. And it wasn't with pipe dreams in my mind. It was, this is time. This is the next step. This is the next logical thing that I've thought through. That, so, you know, if you go, let's go with my buddies and be a rock star. And that's one way of looking at it. And it could happen. Odds are it's not going to happen like that. It's not how it happens. Usually, you know, you have to be honest with yourself about music and ask yourself, am I meant to do this? It's very easy to think you're meant to do it, or, you know, you're playing in your local town and, oh, you're great, you're great, you're great. But when you turn on the TV and watch the TV show, am I really better than that guy? If every time you listen to music and go, yeah, I can do that, I am better, then maybe you could do it. But if you don't, you have to be honest with yourself, because it's a hard battle if you don't have what it takes. And that's not just playing drums. It's a mentality. It's being on the road. It's living with different people. It's dealing with different personalities. There's so many things that come into play that the drumming is, or the music is the one part. So you have to be honest with yourself. And you have to be aware of what it really means to what you're getting into, because some people they haven't educated themselves or dug enough into that side of things to go, yeah, they may get a certain somewhere or get a tour or something and realize that it's not what they want. They're not made for that, you know. But being honest with yourself about what am I about to push myself into. And it's hard. I was lucky enough to you know, I was kind of brought up in the music business a little bit, so I had an idea of what it was about and people to kind of guide me a little bit, maybe more so than your average Joe or average Tommy. So I was lucky in that way, but I was always, you know, I'm not a Chick Corea drummer guy, I'm not this, you know, I'm a rock, you know, I can play other things, but when I play rock, I'm 110. I play this other stuff, maybe I'm 75. And if you're 75 and you're not 110 at everything, it's not the right thing for you. There's a lot of guys that are 110 at what you are trying to do. And when you move to LA, you have all the other guys that are 75% who move from their town. And then it's just a bunch of more dudes like you, and you get lost in the shuffle. So it's not for everybody is what I'm saying. And I think, you know, and that making it thing, what does that mean, you know? You could make it and play clubs in your hometown and make a living and teach, and that could be success to you. So, you know, see, I would still play no matter what. I love to play music. Fortunately, it's worked out for me. Like I was saying, I've been successful when I was a little kid because I cleaned my drums. I made sure I had everything that I needed going to the gig. I was into it. I was professional then because I knew I want this. I'm going to do everything it takes. I'm going to vacuum these wood chips off my drum carpet because it looks bummy. I'm going to go in with a clean drum. I'm going to take the extra step because. I'm going to clean my cymbals before the gig because. I'm going to practice the song one more time because. If you do that, maybe move. If you don't, stay home and play the clubs.
Which is okay too.
Which is okay, but if your brain is wishing for something else or thinks that it is. It's just the pipe dream aspect is what I have a problem with people when I talk to people, that it's more about being a rock star than playing music, you know.